So this year, I split up the presentation into single family and multifamily sections. One reason is that unlike the last 5 years, the forecast for single family and multifamily is very different for 2019. So it's really important to separate the two. So let's start with the nationwide single family market. Well, I'm sure you probably figured it out. Growth is slowing, sales are slowing, especially in big metros like the San Francisco Bay Area. Let's figure out why. Well, the first big factor is clearly the rising interest rates. Darren Blomquist from Adam Data has been reading the tea leaves. He thinks rising rates are primarily responsible. In the past, we've had people who kept buying even when interest rates were 18% in the 1980s. Yep, 18%. But now your mortgage payment is a much bigger chunk of your salary. So a 1-point hike in interest rates is a lot more inflation-adjusted moolah than it was back in the 80s. So first, let's take a look at how the mortgage rates affected sales in 2018. As you can see, single-family home prices still went up on a national level in 2018, so went up here. That's the blue line on the left. Well, condos seem to have plateaued already. They're not going up in price. Overall demand, though, is down, which you see on the right. Now, I want to point out that the graph on the right doesn't show a drop in prices. As you can see from the graph on the left, prices still went up 5% last year. On a nationwide basis, there is no evidence of price declines, though the San Francisco Bay Area is seeing potential declines. There's plenty of proof that demand is dropping and the number of sales is dropping. Down 4% in total sales volume. That's what the blue line shows us. Now, in case you're thinking that I'm cherry picking data, here's another data point for you. The last slide had data from the National Association of Realtors. They projected 4% sales decline. Here's the confirmation from LendingTree, one of the largest single-family lenders. They point out that buying power is down 10% over year over year. That's a huge dent. They don't tell us how much of a decline, but the folks at Keller Williams do, and that's up on the screen. They think that sales volume will decline 2%. I'm personally predicting that the sales volume decline in the San Francisco Bay Area will be much larger, but that's a local issue, not a national one. And some of these sales declines comes back to those troublesome millennials. As you saw a few minutes ago, they can't really complain about their jobs anymore. Their unemployment rate is under 5%, but for whatever reason, they're still not buying as many homes as past generations. As you can see from the 3 circles above, their home ownership rate is very anemic. That 4% difference between the year 2000 and now is millions and millions of single-family homes. Bad news for the country? Yes, but also good news for landlords because that 4% difference is millions of renter households. Now that they've had jobs and are not living with parents anymore, they're renting. Bad news for single-family often translates to good news for apartments. So with sales volumes declining, will single-family prices decline too? The flat answer, no. I'm looking at forecasts from various industry experts, and all of them say that on a national level, single-family prices will go up in 2019, but much slower than 2018. For example, Realtor.com is betting on a 2.2% price increase. Zillow is more bullish at 3.8%. Both numbers are much lower than the home price increases in 2018. So what everyone agrees with is that the market is slowing rapidly. Now, I know that half of you watching are in the San Francisco Bay Area, and price increase predictions for 2019 for you guys are not out yet. I'll be sending out advisories about those separately to those of you that live in the Bay Area as new data comes in. Now, 2019 is a year to really watch carefully for those in Northern California. Note that there is no cause for alarm yet. The sky is definitely not falling. Also note that I said Northern California, not the state of California. It appears that the party is actually not ending for other parts of California yet. So bottom line for single family, the 2018 slowdown will extend into 2019. Rates will go up, millennials will keep buying, though at a rather anemic level. Home buying power will continue to decrease. There will be more inventory in the market, but we are not, repeat, not predicting it to be a buyer's market in 2019, just closer to a balanced market. Okay, that's the single family wrap up.